It's the Brandon Cruz Daily Fantasy Podcast, where I look at alone plays and strategies specifically designed for GPPs. This is a show for people, we're already informed of league fantasy sports and how these contests operate. If you have any questions related to NASCAR, doesn't a stupid question, feel free to shoot them away on Twitter, BrandonCruzDFS. Most importantly, take everything with a grain of salt and use your best judgment when making entries. Additionally, if you have a gambling addiction, that's just not my problem. Check your sense of feelings at the door. We're talking about the Xfinity Series at Bristol this weekend, and I would highly advise you to listen to the Cup Series video first. I know the Xfinity Series is the race is tomorrow, but a lot of the things that I just said for the Cup Series video apply to the Xfinity Series in a sense of I just want to try and build as a lineup that's going to get me as many lap leaders and fast lap getters as absolutely possible. I think that's going to lean towards a lot of, probably more in Xfinity, and not a lot of punting, but certainly having more faith in the punts because, and I ended the Cup Series video like this, but when you look at the last, let's just say the last 4 races in Xfinity and talk about the total number of DraftKings points these guys are getting. Previous race here, Chastain had 90 points. Right, hold on. Let's see. One where Allgaier finished 50th. Yeah, this is Bristol last year. Chastain had 90.75, Allgaier 89, Briscoe 72.75, Cindric 72, Anthony Alfredo 55.5, Harrison Burton 48.5, Timmy Hill 48.5, Herbst 46.5. Noah Gragson, 41.5. 38.5 for Jeremy Clements. Brandon Jones, 36.5. Obviously, not all these guys are hitting value, but you're seeing, like just guys are getting fast laps, guys that you project to do. And so last time, the pole sitters, Chastain and Allgaier, Briscoe, who started 10th, Cindric, who started 4th, Burton, who started 6th, all those guys scored more than 48.8 points. When we look back the second to last race we were here, Gregson at 91.75, Allgaier had 84, Harrison Burton 66.75, Snyder 57, Clements 57, Chase Briscoe 56, A.J. Allmendinger 55.5, Joe Graff Jr. 55.5, Brandon Brown 51, Josh Williams 47, Jones 47, Hemrick 46.5, B.J. McLeod 46. Third to last race we had here. Tyler Reddick, 106.25. Justin Allgaier, 90.75. Briscoe, 54.5. Hill, 51.5. Nemechek, 50. Brandon Jones, 48. Greg Galding, 45.5. Kyle Busch, 44.75. Landon Castle, 44. Cindric, 44. I want to try and get as many guys that I believe can get fast laps and laps led. And so we're going to see a lot of A's, a lot of B's in this type of video just because I'm going to be wanting to kind of spread it out here. The Truck Series, I kind of know where I want to go. And you can kind of at least project who's going to be up front leading the laps. In Xfinity and Cup Series, just due to the races being a bit longer and there being that many fast cars throughout the field and that much slower traffic, because the leader is not always going to get the fast laps because they got to deal with all these drivers that are off pace. There's a lot of guys that I want to target here. And so I personally like pretty much the entire top 10. Gun to my head, I like Gregson more than Allgaier. So we're going to give Allgaier a B. I love Ty Gibbs. I love Daniel Hemrick. I love Justin Haley. I like Harrison Burton. Jeb Burton, Riley Herbst is where, I'm less interested, but I still love these guys. I got them all projected to get laps led and fast laps here. Obviously, they're not all going to work, but at least weeks like this to where I kind of just build lines and cover a lot of different avenues. There's not really a place that I want to just sit down and play, a ton. Maybe this week it's going to be Ty Gibbs, Austin Cindric, and A.J. Allmendinger, but even still, I'm going to have ownership to Gregson, Justin Allgaier, Haley, Burton. I know a lot of people don't like when I say that because I'm not really giving picks out, but that's just how I like approaching these races. I love Brandon Brown. I think he could hit value really easy. Same thing with Sieg. More concerned about that, but in comparison to Brandon Brown, but I like Sieg. Clements is probably underpriced. He's popping off as a guy who I'm going to want to use in the 6K range. Alex Lebaye, if Lebaye could hold on to his starting position, which we've seen before, even last year in the fall, he finished 13th, which is kind of what we're asking for here. You do have to worry about the races where he gets wrecked because he's either, a top 15 driver or he's getting wrecked. But you can say that about anybody. You can say that like about Annette. Annette is a guy who was the pillar of consistency and then ran into issues in both races last year in the Xfinity Series. I'm going to go right back to him. I did last year. I'm doing it this year again. We need to fix that C. I like Annett. I like Jones. I mainly like these guys because Annett and Jones are guys that I think are going to end up be competing for 7th and 6th by the time this is all done. Everybody, even including Brandon Brown, everybody that's an A and a B is a top 10 car this week. And it just depends on how the race shakes out. Obviously, some of these guys will fail. Some of them won't. But like really, this is a race where I'm just going to let the optimizer probably build more of my lines than hand build. Concerned about Williams. Really worried about Weatherman. Probably not going to go there. Too risky for me just due to the fact that he's starting 19th. He is dirt cheap, and I'm trying to guess that if he gave you like negative 10 points, I don't think it's worth it. Even if you have the main lap leaders, I would just rather want a safer play. Sam Hunt car. Go check out the video I put out on Wednesday, kind of talking about this car in more detail. But it's Brandon this time, so I'm going to project for around 16th, $6,900. That's perfectly fine there. Sam Mayer should run decently well. Finally in a good car, Junior Motorsports, $9,900. Probably a bit underpriced. Probably should be in the 10K range. Should be a guy competing for 11th. Got to keep him in the pool as well. Tommy Joe Martin's a guy who's probably going to finish 19th. Got to keep him in the pool as well. Like, this is why videos, at least for Bristol, for me, it's not boring. I don't know if it's good content. Just it's more based on projections. More concerned about these guys. Man, dude, like I like Ryan Vargas more than the other guys in the 6K range. I like Stefan Parsons. It's been a while since he's been here. He's probably gonna be popular. I'm gonna imagine Roto Grinders probably pushes him up because they normally do. Parsons might be one of the more popular plays in the 5K range just because it's Stefan Parsons and he seems to always gain ownership. But if I can pay up and kind of get off the 4K range, I don't mind going to Parson. I think Earnhardt's going to get lapped. I think he's going to finish probably more around 30th. But I'm fine there. Jade Buford, I'm fine. Probably not a slam dunk play, but if you land there, like, I hate this, man. This is more of a, just buy my projections, see what I think, because it's hard for me. Like, Ty Dillon is a guy that I'm going to be making in the line. Like, I want to build around Ty Dillon. I want to build around Ty Gibbs. I want to build around, who else do I, probably Michael Annett, Brandon Jones. Those would probably be the 4 main picks that I would give. But that's how it is. Sage, the IndyCar driver, in the Jordan Anderson, like, hey, this is what it should be priced. This is a shit box. Let's actually price it the way it should be. And so here, when you price the Jordan Anderson car at 10K, I'm going to have a ton of criticism. I don't think it's a 10K car. When it's $6,500, I think it's an underpriced car. I think it should be around $7,500, $8,000, $8,300. Sage Karam, an IndyCar driver, he'll most likely end up killing someone or wrecking someone or putting himself on the wall. But even with that said, if he can keep it green, probably a 22nd place car. Don't mind Sage Karam as well. Spencer Boyd in the Mario Gosling car. Bit of a disappointment last weekend. Boyd just has to be a fucking terrible driver. Like, as I talked about on the Wednesday show, like, I think some of these drivers are just bad. And I think Spencer Boyd is just bad. I just think Spencer Boyd is a bad driver. Not going to him. Carson Ware. I don't mind it. I don't mind at all. Landon Castle, a guy that I think is probably going to stay pretty clean in this race, take care of his car. I like Castle. I like BJ McLeod. This is a car that needs points. I'm gonna probably build around BJ McLeod, Ty Dillon, Ty Gibbs. That's probably what we're looking at right now. Joe Graff Jr., see what the optimizer does, if it wants to put him in there or not. Chad Fincham, dying for this race. This is his hometown race. Chad always runs well here. And so, took us a while to get to the picks, but it's going to be a Chad Fincham, BJ McLeod, Ty Dillon and Ty Gibbs type of week. There are the picks. Those are probably the 4 drivers I want to be the highest on. I always play Chad Fincham when we come to Bristol. This is the one time where he is going to run. They are not going to start and park that car. It's the Hattori entry, but it's an MBM car. But Chad is running this for him. Like, he is asking, I want to run Bristol. I run Bristol every time we're here. We see that consistently. His 36th place finish in 2018 was a legit failure. He did not start and park. He loves this track. He wants to race here. And so I want to be overweight on Chastain, or not Chastain, on Chad Fincham. $5,100. The main reason why I'm not dipping into the 4K range a lot is because there's a chance I might just have 100% Chad Fincham. And if it sinks, it sinks. If it goes that way, however, whatever. But that's where we're at right now. Do that, not going to Greg Galding, not going to Bailey Curry. And so in the optimizer, going to lock in Chad. Most likely going to lock in BJ McLeod and see what I get from there. That's where we're at. Hopefully it helps you out. I don't know if this is good content. If it helps you out, it helps you out. But man, this is one where I'm just like, let the optimizer do the optimizing. Let the calculator do the calculating. And, maybe pivot off of ownership if we have more information on that. When, the 4 guys on YouTube who still make content for this, maybe look at us, see what we say, look at different articles and stuff. Check out Jason's article, Free NASCAR DFS. I always look at that to see what he's pushing. Yeah, that's basically it. Let the optimizer do the optimizing. Maybe pivot off of ownership. But that's where we're at right now for the Xfinity series. So thank you for listening. I do appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.